What's up, everybody? It is Mr. and Mrs. Bradley coming to you guys with another video. I know it's been a while since we did one, but you're gonna like this one, I promise.
Watching us or our channel, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, make sure you go ahead and click the little notification bell right next to the subscribe button so you can always be notified of all of our future videos, because you never want to miss a single upload. Okay, we have some really good videos over here. Also, you want to be following us on Instagram at Bradley Party of 6 so you never miss one of our reels that we post, because we do be posting some funny reels, just saying.
Also, if you get some good insight from this video, please don't forget to share and pass it along to somebody else, alright? So without further ado, we are talking about 75 hard.
So if you were following us on Instagram, then you've probably, there's no doubt, you've seen or heard us talk about 75 hard, whether it be individually or whether it be together. We have been talking about it for the past 75 days because it has been our life for the past 75 days.
So what is 75 hard?
75 hard is he calls it a mental toughness program. And when I say he, I mean the creator of the program. There is a book. He has a daily journal. He has a podcast. His name is Andy Frisella, and you can Google it. There are so many people who are doing 75 hard, and it's a program. It's definitely a fitness program, but I think it's more so mental than physical. There are 5 attributes of 75 hard that you must accomplish every single day for 75 days in order to say that you have completely finished 75 hard.
Like she said, it is as much mental as it is physical. And when we get to breaking it down and going into details here and outline what each one of those challenges is that he lays out for every day, the 5 daily challenges to 75 hard goes as follows. First, you must drink 1 gallon of water every day. You must take a progress pic every single day. I know that sounds crazy, right? Every single day, 75 days. You must also read at least 10 pages of a non-fictional book. He lays out that it should be something self-motivating or self-help, anything like that. Any book will do like that. Just cannot be like a novel or something like that. 4th thing, you must work out twice a day. And the 5th thing is you must follow some form of a diet. He doesn't really outline what type of diet it is. It doesn't have to be keto. It doesn't have to be no carbs. It doesn't have to be any kind of crazy diet. You just say, hey, he must follow some form of a diet. So
just to go back with the workouts, it has to be 2 workouts a day for 45 minutes, at least 45 minutes a day. And one of the workouts must be outdoors. So that was a big caveat with the workouts as well, because if you live in Ohio like we live, one of the workouts outdoors can sometimes be tough. You might be in extreme cold.
No, I don't know if I can see that. That's snow. But we out here, so another day, another grind.
You might be in extreme heat. And we experienced both of those.
So a little insight into our journey before we break down all 5 of those. We started our challenge on April 11th. And we ended on June, what was that? 24th. So like she said, we did this challenge. It was snowing in Cleveland on days when we started, and it was as hot as 90, I think it was 92 when we worked out our last day outside. So fun times. So we're gonna break down each one of these topics, how we experienced those topics, and in the end, we'll show you our results and how we ended 75 hard, and did we actually complete it. A little bit of insight, a little more insight inside of our 75 hard. CC did a condensed version of 75 hard, and I went for the whole thing. So I think that it is, even though Andy outlines in the book, he says if you don't do the way I outline in the book, you're not doing 75 hard. We get that, but CC was like, and CC wanted to do it, and she knocked the shit out of it. Even though her smaller version of it, it still was a fucking challenge.
So what I decided to do, 2 workouts a day. Just one, I don't think 2 workouts a day were, I don't want to say they weren't feasible, because if I wanted to get up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., yeah, I could have done it. Working out twice a day just wasn't feasible for the both of us to do with the kids and everything else that we had going on. The kids' sports, all that stuff. Just wasn't feasible unless I wanted to be super uncomfortable every day. Again, waking up super early, staying up super late. And I just, at this point in time, I just wasn't willing to commit that hard, right? But I was like, I really want to do this challenge, and I really do want it to be challenging. So what I decided to do was, I said I wanted to move my body every day, and I said I wanted to work out intense, hardcore 5 times a week, and then the other 2 days I wanted to make sure I was moving my body and getting some form of exercise, whether it be a yoga session, a stretch, or something like that. All of the other attributes of 75 Hard, I did end up doing. I committed to doing the gallon a day, the photo, the book, and the diet. I did commit to all of those. It was really just the 2 workouts a day that I didn't want to fully commit to, even though I ended up doing 2 workouts a day a lot of the time with him.
First thing, we will talk about the water intake, which to me is probably the hardest to adjust to.
Same. I think it got easier as time went on, but when you're not used to drinking water like that, when you first start off, a gallon of water really isn't that much when you think about it if you drink it all throughout the day. But when you're not used to drinking water like that, and you have to get all of that water down, if you're not calculated about when you start drinking the water, like if you don't start until noon, you're already behind. So you have to get up and be calculated about when you're going to start drinking water, or you're literally gonna pee all night.
So my recipe for success for completing my water journey was actually drinking out of my 21-ounce bottle during every one of my what you want to call it, Zoom meetings that I have for work. So what I would do is, before every Zoom call, I would fill up my 21-ounce bottle of water and try to get that water down during that call. And my reminder to refill that bottle was, when that call ended, I should be done with that bottle. That way, by the time I got to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I had already had like 5 water bottles down. I knew I had another workout to do later on that afternoon, so I was gonna drink some water during that workout, and boom, I'm done with all my water intake. And you had to be strategic like that, or either 1 or 2 things are gonna happen. I shouldn't say 1 or 2 things. One thing is gonna happen. It's gonna be 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you peeing like crazy because you decided till the end of the night to get all your water down.
Or you're not gonna complete it.
Yeah.
One or the other. So the water intake was definitely rough. I can say I probably only drank a gallon of water like half the time. I don't think I drank a full gallon of water more than half the time we were on 75 Hard. I kind of reduced it in my mind to like 64 ounces, and that was a lot more manageable for me. The thing about 75 Hard is that I feel like it teaches you what you can do, because a lot of times, like, I'll sit there and I'll be like, man, there's no way I could drink a gallon of water for 75 days. Well, I didn't drink a gallon of water for 75 days, but before 75 Hard, I was only drinking like 20 ounces of water a day. So now I'm drinking a minimum of 64 ounces of water a day, and that's kind of embedded in me at this point. So while I may not have hit the overall gallon goal, I've definitely improved my life and improved my habits through this program.
For me, a gallon of water was never in the question. I never drink water like that. I've actually, since completing 75 Hard, my water intake has been crazy. I actually can tell when my body is yearning for water. I actually before I didn't even say I didn't like the taste of water, but actually I yearn for water. You can feel, it's crazy how much of a difference you have coming into the journey as opposed to going out, because your body literally will tell you like, hey, I need water, I need water, I need water.
Moving on to the next part of 75 Hard was to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every single day. This was by far the easiest for me. I love to read. You guys, if you follow my other YouTube channel, you know that reading is definitely a goal of mine this year and last year. That was like on my goals list. So it is my goal to read 27 books, well 22, but I upped it to 27 books this year, and I am already at number 17, I believe. So reading is like, it's fun for me. I love to read, and so reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book, easy.
For me, that was probably the most challenging of the things to do.
That was a treat for me.
Of the things to do. Not because I can't read, I just don't per se grab a book all the time and just pick up and read. So I would say I have a goal. I don't have nearly the accomplishments as this one over here when it comes to reading. My yearly goal is about 12 books a year, and that's usually including Audible. That was the other thing. Your reading could not be an Audible book. You had to actually read the book. So I did get through 4 books while doing this. Include 75 Hard was one of the books. I actually ended on the last 2 chapters of 75 Hard, and I completed 3 other books. So it was good. I knocked out 4 books in 2 months. So that checked off almost a quarter, well not almost, a quarter of my reading for the year. So I thought that part was good too, because you not only was it the physical part, but you actually learned something while going through the challenge. You know what I'm saying? So
you're learning things while going through the challenge, and it really, minus learning just what you read in the book, it also again taught you time management, because you had to make sure that you made time to read those 10 pages. There were times where, like, most of the time, like I said, the reading was easy. I would knock that out like first thing at the beginning of the day. But if I didn't and I got sleepy at the end of the day, there were a few days where I was like, oh, I have to read these 10 pages or I'm gonna mess this up. So I mean, you have to just keep yourself on a schedule, and it definitely taught you time management, and that you can make time for the things that you want to make time for.
So what did you feel like your success, what was your recipe for success for knocking out your chapters?
Just do it. A lot of times, like I said, I did it at the beginning of the day, or I would do it in the middle of the day, like while I was working. I would take 5 to 10 minutes and just sit there and read a few pages, and I would do that. I would keep the book with me at my desk, and in between meetings, 5 to 10 minutes, read a few pages. 5 to 10 minutes, read a few pages, and then, you know, the reading was done for the day. So
me, it was not in the middle of the day. My concept to success was 2 ways. Either I was going to read when I first woke up in the morning, or right before I got in the shower at night. So, and I kept that schedule. And like she said, this book teaches you about time management and scheduling, because if you don't, then it's really hard to complete this challenge. Mm-hmm. Third thing that you had to knock off this list was taking a picture every single day. Progress pic every single day.
I didn't do this at all. I ain't gonna lie. I did the first couple days. And then I guess this was other thing that I modified though, because I did say I was only going to take 1 pic a week, but I didn't even do the 1 pic a week. I think I probably took like 5 or 6 pictures during the whole thing, but yeah, I didn't do that one.
I took it was a couple of days I had her take pictures. Most of the time I just took pictures in the mirror to be able to track my progress. Every single day gets tedious, and because of the fact that the reason why he wants you to do this is because he wants you to be able to see the small changes in your body throughout the challenge. Again, it's a real of the tedious things, and that's what he outlines. Another thing he outlines in the book is it seems tedious and at times even like pointless, but it's part of one of the things that is just like part of life. Like, if you want to get this done, this is one of the things you got to do. You can suck it up and get it done.
A lot, and that's funny because you said that, because that is really what happens. A lot of things in life that you may do may seem tedious and may seem pointless. Like you studying every day, you're like, dang, if I miss a day of studying, I'll be fine. But you know, every day compounds on the last day, and so like the work that you put into things, definitely, it's not insignificant. But that's how we feel sometimes. So doing this challenge, that's another lesson. It really teaches you that doing the small things will equal the big things. The dreaded diet. That's element number 4 of 75 Hard, is the dreaded diet. So didn't follow any special diet, just stayed in a calorie deficit. And for the most part, definitely I did stay in a calorie deficit. For the most part, the biggest help in getting through that was definitely tracking my food. I had a physical fitness journal where I actually wrote things down, and then I also utilized my Fitness Pal a lot. And I'm not at the point where I can just intuitively eat and say, okay, you know, for the day I'm gonna eat this amount and I can still stay in a calorie deficit. I actually have to see it and be able to track it, and that was really the most helpful tool to make sure that that was able to be done.
Same. My Fitness Pal was my best friend through this challenge. Being able to know what I need to hit in order to stay up under my calorie deficit. It also, my Fitness Pal also makes you very, very aware of the things that you put in your body. And when you go and you scan that and you see, oh my God. Like, I think during this challenge I found out, I was talking to her and she's like, you ain't know that? And I scanned bread, like, to make a sandwich one day. And the bread, like 2 pieces of bread was like 230 calories or something crazy like that. I was like, bread is this much? I'm like, oh my God, I'm not ever eating bread again. This is crazy.
Because when you see it in black and white like that, and then you see how many calories you burn during your workouts, and you're like, man, if I eat this will literally erase the 1 hour workout I just did. Like, when you think about it that way, it really stops and makes you think about the choices that you're making.
It does. It's exactly. Like, it was so many things that I'll be like, I can't eat this. Or even now, since we've completed 75 Hard, it's just made me more aware of the things that I'm putting in my body. And like, I can't eat this. I can't eat that. Not that you want to live like that all the time. That's why 75 Hard is what it is. But it makes you very much aware that you, like, it's just so many things that we overindulge in that we just should not be doing. To be frank, we should not be eating like that.
Definitely.
The last part of 75 Hard. 2 workouts every single day, 45 minutes a day, 1 indoor, 1 outdoor.
Or they could be both outdoor.
Or they could both be
there has to be an outdoor.
There has to be an outdoor element.
This one, so I told you guys I modified it, and I modified it to basically moving my body every day, 5 kind of hardcore workouts a week. You guys know I have an unlimited Orange Theory membership, so Orange Theory was a big help in getting me through this. But I feel like we were able to find so many different ways to work out and incorporate different things in our workouts, and it almost became fun, and it also became great because we were able to do it together and be accountability partners for each other as well. So
especially in the beginning.
The beginning was, I think the beginning is rough for 2 reasons. One, because when you hear 75 Hard and you hear all the elements that go into it, it's kind of scary, and you're like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this. I think one, and then on top of that, your body, I think, goes into shock a little bit because your body's not used to, at least my body, and it wasn't used to moving like that. So I think your body goes into a little shock. So
I was even talking about just the beginning of our challenge. The beginning, because when I tell y'all it was cold, we're gonna insert some clips here. When I tell y'all it was cold here when we started, it was cold.
Yeah, so 75 Hard shit. Woo! It's about 45 degrees out here. Fucking freezing, but almost 2 miles into this walk.
Like 20 something degrees.
Like, we were outside taking walk. Like, we did our indoor, outdoor. Indoor was easy. We work out. We like to work out. It was the outdoor part in the beginning that was like, oh my God. We was out there walking. I remember posting on my Instagram. People were like, you are crazy. How'd y'all outside walking in the snow?
It was like 20 degrees, less than that maybe, and snowing. Day 8. Day 8. We out here in the snow, getting our walk in. Y'all see it? It is coming down out here too. Got the GoPro going. Let's go. Workout number 2. And we're out there like walking 2 miles. Like, it was, yeah, it was pretty sick. But I mean, again, it teaches you that if you want to do something, you're going to do it. So all the times that I complained about not wanting to go work out, or all the times that I complained about the small things, it's like you went out in the snow and you did this. There's no way you should have a trouble getting on a regular workout routine now. There's no way there's no excuse at that point. And I think that's what this program was made for, to show you that there are no excuses when it comes to getting done the things that you need to get done, whether it's fitness, whether it's whatever it is. There are no excuses, and if you want to do it, you're going to do it.
So, like I said, so the indoor workouts was easy. Like I have an 8 class a month membership to Orange Theory. I have a FitWorks membership. I have a Planet Fitness membership. So, working out indoors was not going to be a problem. Outdoors in the beginning, we was doing walks, and then I was like, well, I want to up this a little bit more. Probably about the beginning of May, we have an indoor gym, some regular gym equipment, a bench, a bike, some free weights, another little free bench, and I took all that stuff and brought it to our garage, and we started working out in the garage. So it was
another thing, if y'all follow us on Instagram, I know y'all been seeing us in that garage for the past month. So that was another way to be able to get the workout in. And that was one thing that Andy is very, I say, open with creativeness on how you get your outdoor workout done. He doesn't outline like how you gotta do it. He even talked about one time in the book where it was like 11 o'clock at night and he realized he hadn't done his outdoor workout, so he went and got on his bike in the garage and worked out. Technically you're outdoors. We opened up the garage door and you're outside. So 2 workouts a day. It's not, when you think about it, and that kind of I'll segue into what we learned from 75 Hard. When you think about it, 2 workouts a day, you sound like, man, that sounds like a lot, but it's 90 minutes. 90 minutes of a day in which you get 24 hours. That's an hour and a half. You still got 22 and a half hours of your day to go. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it like that, in the grand scheme of things, and it's like, you deserve to pay yourself. Like I look at exercising as a form of payment to yourself, your future self, and being proud of your future self. So, without further ado, obviously we didn't do 75 Hard just for the fun of doing 75 Hard. We wanted to get something out of doing 75 Hard. And what we wanted to gain from doing 75 Hard was a kickstart to our fitness journey. We are getting remarried in Cancun this fall, and we wanted to get in shape to get started, to be able to get ready to get in shape for when we go down there. When I started 75 Hard, I was 254 pounds. When I started, I was 182.6.
At the completion of 75 Hard, I was 222 pounds.
So down.
So I lost 32 pounds. I'm sorry.
And I was 169.2.
You did? I told you to walk. I told you to take a walk.
So I lost 13 pounds.
So that's a lot of weight on both sides. It was definitely earned. It was definitely, I've never had a sense of pride and fulfillment as much as I did when I completed 75 Hard. I really came out on the other side of this like, damn, I really did this. For one, we've done in our past, started so many like challenges or things that we said we was gonna get done as far as our fitness, and that we just never followed through with.
And so, and like you said, it was really nice when once we hit that 75th day, we were like, wow, we actually finished. Like, we actually did this. Because, I mean, we had started and said we were going to work out daily. This was in like November or October, and we made it to day 9. And that was it. And so to actually see this thing through, were we perfect at it? No. But to actually continue on and see this thing through, and I mean, again, we were accountability partners for each other. So I think it's really nice if you want to do something like this to find a friend or someone who can do it with you, or at least push you when you don't want to get up. Because there's going to be those days where you don't want to get up or you don't want to do it. And so to have someone there to at least push you to get it done I think that made all the difference for me.
Yes. That along with, we posted very much in the beginning, I don't know, as much as for ourselves as for the help, I don't know, but we posted a lot on our Instagram. If any of you guys follow us on Instagram, you've seen it, because we got a bunch of kudos and congratulations when we completed. I got a bunch of what day you on, when I would go work out. I had the trainers at Orange Theory would come up to me and be like, what day are you on? Or
even y'all, like when the days that we didn't post, like there would be days where I wouldn't post my workouts because I didn't post my workouts every single day.
Yeah, I felt like that to an extent. It started to get on people's nerves. Like every day we would post a workout.
And so I didn't do it every single day, but then the days that I didn't, like clockwork, there would be somebody like, you ain't work out today? Girl, ain't you on day such and such? You gotta keep going, or something like that. And y'all have no idea how much that was really helpful and motivating also.
Yes. So, in the end, what did you learn from 75 Hard?
I learned that it is a hell of a lot harder to lose 10 pounds than I thought it was. But I learned just a lot about my body, and I learned that, first of all, if you would have told me I only lost 10 pounds at the end of this, like if we were at the beginning and you were to be like, you only gonna lose 13 pounds, girl, I'd be like, oh, well, this ain't even worth doing. I ain't lost nothing. But the difference in my body, how strong I feel, how much better I look, how much better I feel, how much better my clothes feel. Don't ever underestimate, even if you're like, oh, I only lost 10 pounds or I only lost 5 pounds. Don't ever underestimate what that can feel like for your body. And I also learned if I want to do something, I can. So what did you learn?
Crazy enough, I learned that as much as you would think like physicalness out of this would be the thing that I would take the most from it, I feel like I learned better time management. For me, I learned that I can do so many things in the 24 hours that I'm given every day. I just have to properly use it. Was I able to watch as much TV as I wanted to? No. Was I able to play my video game as much as I was before? No. But did I get done everything that I was supposed to get done or needed to get done? Yes, and I made time for the other things that needed to get done. It's still, because we still got 4 kids. We still got to eat. We still got to hang out with our kids. We still got to spend time with each other. I still have a family outside of this house that I had to see. We still had jobs that needed to be done. So it was like we still had to do all that stuff and at the same time get those things done. And it taught me how to really manage my time. It would be times where to get my workout in at work, I would bring my walking shoes and I would, instead of taking a long lunch break, I would walk to the cafeteria or something like that to get my lunch, and that was my 45-minute outdoor walk. And utilizing your time for things that are actually needed. I had a conversation with my sister, crazy enough, at the end of this, and she's like, man, you work out so much, or you was working out so much, and I'm like I said at the beginning, it's an hour and a half of your time is really not that long. When you think about it, how many Netflix shows do you sit down and binge watch? Or TV shows that you sit there and watch 2 or 3 hour episodes of, you know what I'm saying?
We all have more time than we think. I mean, we really do. If you think about, like you said, all the little time wasters and the time suckers, the scrolling through Instagram all day and all of that. If you think about all of that we do, we absolutely do have more time than we think. And once again, I can't stress enough, you make time for what you want to make time for. And I feel like I've said that before, but after doing this challenge, that takes on a whole new meaning. Because it's the absolute truth, you do. And so if you want to work out for 90 minutes a day and get in shape, and if you want to do that, you're going to do that, period.
So with that being said, we are, like I said before, we still gonna keep this going. We keeping this train rolling. We are still exercising. We still using all of the things that we learned from 75 Hard and continuing through, but we are going to Cancun in September. So we're gonna be doing like a 38 hard or 39 hard when we get to about 38 days or so from our wedding, and going to get back to it. That's how much we feel like we took from this.
So last question, would you recommend 75 Hard?
Yes, definitely. I feel like I got so much done. I feel like I accomplished. Again, like I said, it's just a sense of accomplishment when you come out of it. It's like, man, I did all of that during this thing. Like, it's just a sense of, like I said, a sense of accomplishment that I haven't had in a very long time. What about yourself?
I would absolutely recommend it, but I will say, so I feel like it's easy for us to say that because we work from home too.
Yeah, that's true.
So I will say that I realize if you read the book, which I highly, highly, highly recommend you read the book. If you read the book, again, he says any modifications to his plan in 75 hard is not 75 hard. There are no modifications. And I agree. But if you need to modify, you modify. And I think the biggest thing to take from it, you make it challenging, but obviously make it something that you could do. But I think the biggest thing to take from that is to figure out how to come out on the other side better than when you went in. And I even though I wasn't perfect in everything, I really feel like I came out with so many good habits and learning so much about myself, just so much more than when I went in. And that in itself is a win.
So I hope you guys took something from this video. Let us know down below if 75 hard is something that you thought of, if 75 hard is something that you're doing, if 75 hard is something that you want to get done. We would love to hear. Or if 75 you completed 75 hard, what's your thoughts on it?
Oh, I'd love to hear from someone who's done it. If you guys have done it, let them know how amazing it is in the comments.
So, into the next video, it is Mr. and Mrs. Bradley checking out. Peace.